Hello everyone, welcome to today's computing class with Smile It Off. This is a follow-up to our previous covered data types. We make Boolean, string, float, integers, and even characters. Today we're going to explore yet another question from another source, which is essentially about writing a code in PHP. To do that, we use a software that can write other softwares or codes or programs, Visual Studio Code. So in Visual Studio Code, we try to replicate the exact question paper here. And to do that, we need our focus on first creating a file that we will name index.php. That way, the program will recognize it as such, and everything we do will be in what? PHP. Code simply means we type what is there. Now I'll enter and position the last part of the code at line 10. So any other thing will be in between this. On line 2, a variable has been declared. That was x, and it was declared as being equal to 3. And so I'll speed it up by copying it again, but this time declaring the next variable as y, then changing my value here to 2. The next thing I'll do is to try to do the same thing, but this time the name was multiply, and then multiply is written as a function of the y and the x. So that's how this one will end. Then I'll do a similar thing at line 5. This time line 5, the variable declared will be power. And for the power, we're going to use a function which is quite differently syntaxed as compared to the one in the question here. So I'll replace this with POW, and it will do the same job. It will keep this as the base and this as the exponent. From this, we can move on to our very next line. Now observe that so far with all the codes that we've written, nothing is being displayed in the browser, even when we have saved our work. It will not display anything because in Python we normally will quote print to display stuff. Here, instead of print, we use echo. So let me echo something quite fast. If I echo the word banku, for instance, you see that our browser will display the word banku. Even if I clean it, you see that what will be left or what will be displayed there. So there are two things we want to echo here. On top, we want to echo the word as per the question. We want to echo the word product. So we echo the word product, and then over here will be the answer. So to pick the answer directly from over here, we're going to look at the variable which was used to multiply, which was the word multiply. So like that, and then it should do the job. Now realize that the product and the 6 are together, so that's how come we needed to put a line break here with this code. And even that, moving on to the next line, we still want to do some breaks over there, so that there will be a space between lines 6, 7, 8 and 9. So here the word changes to become exponent, and here the variable becomes power, and then we are done. So you realize that it answers the question, or this is the raw question, and then that's the output. If we decide to change the numbers, you realize that answers will also change accordingly, and this is how this particular code will be run if you worked on it. So back to our question and the actual answer to it. So I've made arrangement to just fixing the answers like that. The first question said, what are we writing in? And we are writing this code in what? PHP. How is the multiplication operation? It is represented as this asterisk sign. What will the output display? As you can see here, it's product 6 exponent 8. So product 6 will come on the first two lines, and then exponent 8 will also cover the next two lines. There's also the question of two variables that were declared. We can say we declared x, and we also declared a variable y. Of course, exponent and product were also possible variables you can also talk about. Here, the next set of questions that were asked is not necessarily on the screen, but square or / for alpha and beta respectively.